What's good, everybody? Today we're going over dynamic routes in NextJS15. If you didn't watch the last video, we covered the initial app routing basics to help us, get a good understanding. Today we're going to build on top of what we learned in the last video and learn about dynamic routes in Next.js. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about dynamic routes. So reading from the website documentation, when you don't know the exact segment names ahead of time and want to create routes from dynamic data, you can use dynamic segments that are filled in at request time or pre-rendered at build time. So what does this mean, Cam? So for example, I'm gonna explain it in a way that we can all just get it. So building off what we did in the last video, if you didn't watch it, we made our initial post page. So we're gonna be mocking out a blog. So from that post page, typically on a blog page or post page, you'll see a list of all posts associated with the blog. And let's say I'm a user and I click on the first one that I see. So we're going to go to that specific post page, and in the URL, you'll typically see /blog or /post with the ID appended at the end of the URL. So that's where our dynamic routes or dynamic route segment would come in handy. So before we go any further, let me just talk about that example more in depth using like a real world application. So what better application to use for an example than the Next.js blog that we have in front of us? So if we open this up in a new tab, you'll see here we're on our post or blog page, and it lists out all posts associated in our blog, right? So if we click on one of these, let's go with the first one, our journey with caching, you will see here the dynamic route that they're using is added on. So in this case, instead of an ID name, they're using the title of the blog name. So you start from the base blog page. In our case, for our example, it will be /posts like we made in our last video. And then you click on a post, and it'll take you to the ID of that specific post page. So that's what we're going to use dynamic routes for in Next.js. Now that we have a good understanding or the initial gist of how dynamic routes work in Next.js, let's go ahead and look at how to actually make this happen with the code, right? So by convention, reading from the documentation on the site, a dynamic segment can be created by wrapping a folder's name in square brackets. So you see here, you have square brackets around whatever folder name. Wherever you want it to be, however you want to name it, that's all preference. So you can either put ID or slug. In our case, we'll probably use ID because that kind of fits what the API is going to be returning us, but don't even worry about that for now. We'll get to that when we start coding. So dynamic segments are passed as the params prop to layout, page, route, and generate metadata functions. So for example, you can see here in the code, we're getting params. So what are the params? So if we go back to that blog example, the params in this case would be the slug name of the specific post. So in our case, it'll be the ID, however we want to name it. So that's what the params they're talking about are going to be. So you simply load those params, and then you just return whatever data you need. So you'll either make an API request to get that specific data, which is what we're going to do in our future videos. But today we're just going to keep it simple, and we're just going to just show what that param is. All right, so y'all know what time it is. Let's go ahead and get into this code. So like we were saying before, in order to make a dynamic route, you need to wrap the folder name inside a square bracket. So for our use case, we're going to go inside of our post directory that we made last video, and we're going to create our dynamic route folder here. So in this case, we're going to have it as /ID. That's going to be our folder name. So this is going to be dynamic. And remember, it won't be accessible until we put a page.tsx file in here. So let's go ahead and create page.tsx. And for our example, let us go back into Next.js, the documentation, and let's go ahead and copy this. And we're just going to change a couple of things around. I need to have prettier installed. So first, let me adjust this. There we go. All right. So instead of our dynamic route slug or parameter being named slug, we're just going to have it as ID. So we're just going to rename some things. We're going to put ID and ID. And let's see, param slug. There we go. All right. So now let's go ahead and run our app. Remember, if you want to run the app, you can either do npm run dev for your terminal, or if your editor allows for it, you can just, if you have a run configuration set up, you can just click a play button. Again, I use IntelliJ, but a lot of people don't. They use VS Code, so it's all preference. So now that our app has started running, we'll just go here, make sure we're good to go, let things settle in. And you can see we're in the root page. And then let's just verify that our post page is still working. You can see here, hello post page is still good to go. And now if we type in our dynamic, try to go to our dynamic route. In this case, it'll be just any ID that we pass through the URL. Let's just go ahead and type this in. And you can see here, we have our dynamic route set up. In this case, we passed the parameter 2 to our page, and in the future videos we're going to actually use that parameter to fetch data from our API. But again, we're not worried about that right now. We're just trying to get a good understanding of how things do work in Next.js. So you can add a lot of different configurations here. Like if we, for example, if we did try to fetch our data and that data didn't exist or that ID didn't exist, we would route users to our not found page or something like that. So there's a lot of different ways that we're going to customize this so that we can really get things to stick. But this is our general introduction to dynamic routes in Next.js. All right, so I hope that example made sense. Let's go ahead and move down. We have a little bit more to cover. So let's talk about these good to know notes. So the params prop is a promise in Next15. This wasn't the case in Next14. As you can see here on the website, it was synchronous, so we didn't have to use the async await thing that we see here. So this wasn't the case in Next14. So that was one of the migration things that I learned about when I swapped to Next15, or when I started playing around with Next15. So it is still backwards compatible, but for the sake of our videos, again, we're just going to follow what the latest documentation says. So we're going to use async await. Catch all segments. So this is a good one to talk about. So dynamic segments can be extended to catch all subsequent segments by adding an ellipsis inside the brackets. So for our example, if we wanted to have a catch all segment, we would add 3 dots inside of our post or our ID folder that we made. So if we go back here and we wanted to have this be a catch all route segment, we would just put 3 dots in here. So we can go ahead and actually play around with this. 3. So we added 3 dots there, and now it's a catch all segment. So what does this mean? So if we pass multiple things after the slash, for example, so currently we're just passing 2, right? So let's see what happens if we pass /4, /6. Let's see what goes there. So you can see here, each of the IDs that we passed to this dynamic route were actually caught. So if we go back into our code and we remove this this catch-all segment, let's see what happens then. Let's put it back to normal. And now let's reload the page. You can see this page was not found because, again, we don't have that catch-all statement. So these extra params are throwing things off. So it's like, what the heck are you trying to do? So that's a cool thing. If we ever have a need for it, we can always make a catch-all segment. But in our case, I don't feel as needing to use that, but it's definitely a cool feature to know about. So aside from catch-all segments, there are also optional catch-all segments. So what's the difference? So catch-all segments have an extra layer of brackets around the folder name, and they also match the main route. So instead of it just matching the slug, you can see here if we had like a /shop route, it'll also match that. So my question for you guys is, what do you guys think would happen if we renamed our ID route, dynamic route that we've been playing around with? Let's see what happens if we rename this to an optional catch-all segment. What do you think would happen? Do you think this will work or not? Let's go ahead and see. So, and let's go back to /post. So we can see our post page still works. And then let's see if we just try to go to /2. And you can see we're getting a 404. Why is this? So the issue with this is you cannot have an optional catch-all segment inside of a route that already has a page.tsx configured. Why is that? Because the optional catch-all segment catches the actual route as well. So if we remove the page.tsx, we would expect this to work, right? So let's go ahead and just do that just so we can learn. So let's go ahead and remove. And now let's see what happens. And now you can see it works because that optional catch-all segment is acting like a page.tsx as well, where it catches our actual parent route. So if we add that page.tsx back and we have an optional catch-all segment, we're going to see an error. So that's a good gotcha to know if you're going to be playing around with these catch-all segments. Like I said, for the sake of our learning, we don't really need those. We're not going to be using those unless we come across a cool reason to use it during this tutorial. All right, so that's about it, y'all. So this is dynamic routes in a nutshell. Again, we're going to be doing some more real applications of this. This is just so you can get your brain working and get the gist of how things work with Next.js dynamic routes. So hope you guys have learned something from this video. If I misspoke or if I said something wrong, drop it in the comments. If you are appreciating the tutorials, drop a sub. I appreciate the views that we've been getting. This, it means a lot. Makes me feel like we're actually doing something right here. So again, more videos coming soon. I appreciate the support. Again, if you haven't already, hit that sub button, hit that like button, drop a comment. If there's something in Next.js that you do want to learn, we're going to go through all of these steps, but if there's something specific in Next.js you want to learn, drop it in the comments. I'll add it to my notes. But hey, I appreciate y'all for watching, and until next time, peace out.